Hello, this is Xbox Ahoy, and this is the bonus footage for the PSG1, and we're rather on time this week. As you can probably tell by the fact that this bonus footage is showing up only a few days after the HS10 stuff. But no matter, I'm finally getting my my work together for the final 3 episodes of the weapon guides. Already well ahead with the CZ75, got the footage all ready for that. So I thought I'd get my my bonus footage out of the way, that I have a spare evening with which to record. What am I drinking? I'm drinking, it's from the Old Slowfoot Brewery, which is an English brewery. I don't know where they're based exactly, but it's called Red Wing. Yes. It's a Flemish-style red ale, so it's slightly sour, quite fruity, and kind of a ruby red in colour. Interesting beer. Anyway, on with the questions. 50 Caliber Elliot says, have you bought Borderlands 2, Stu? If so, is it worth the buy? Also, have you ever been up to Newcastle? Yes, I have indeed bought Borderlands 2, and I have played it a little bit. I've actually got 2 characters. I've got my solo character and my co-op character. I think they're, I can't remember where exactly I am. I think my solo's about level 12, 13, and my co-op character's about 16, 17. So not quite all the way through yet. Getting there, though. It really comes down to, you know, finding time to play and finding a time when all my co-op buddies can play at the same time. As far as Borderlands 2 being worth buying is concerned, absolutely yes. It's a very good game, yes. And I like all the variety in the guns. They seem to have, I don't know, the guns seem more colourful, more diverse than Borderlands 1 guns. And Borderlands 1 guns were reasonably diverse. It's just there's, I don't know, there's some interesting combinations that crop up. As far as Newcastle is concerned, yes, I've been to Newcastle several times. I used to, well, I studied in Sunderland. And, of course, Newcastle was just a short train or metro ride away. Also, Newcastle has the benefit of being, well, you know, better than Sunderland. At least if nights out in the tune are your thing, and the restaurants and the shops and all that sort of stuff. We used to quite frequently make trips out to Newcastle. Often all the way to Gateshead, you know, for the metro centre, that sort of thing, for a day out. But yeah, I'm quite familiar with the North East. I spent about 3 years of my life there, and you know, I kind of miss it. I'd quite like to. I don't know. I kind of feel the need to go back to Sunderland and Newcastle, that sort of area, and just for all time's sake, you know. Merc741 says, Stu, why do you like the CZ75 so much? Simply because, as far as the low damage pistols are concerned, it is the statistically superior choice by a long way. Not only does it have the highest magazine capacity, it also has the longest effective range of any of the low damage weapons. So that's, you know, those are the 2 sort of defining characteristics of a low damage pistol. The only thing that really competes with the CZ75 is the Python, which obviously has the 2-shot potential, but you've got a short magazine size with that. So I don't know, the CZ75, if you like to just sort of pull the trigger quickly and spew out 18 bullets, there's nothing better than the CZ75. Alright, Unforgiving N says, Stu, this may break the circle of life and death as we know it. Answer wisely. Polish vodka or Russian vodka? Now, I don't really have a horse in this race. I'm not that much of a vodka aficionado. For me, vodka is something that I'll use in a mixed drink. I tend not to seek out vodka as a standalone. As I understand it, you have with vodka and Poland and Russia a situation similar to French fries in Belgium. Belgium, they invented French fries, but it is the French who take the credit because it was France who popularized French fries. The same is true of vodka. I believe it originates from Poland, although some might argue that. But of course, if you think of vodka, it's most often associated with Russia. As for the question of who makes the better vodka, I honestly don't know. Vodka is one of those things. It is just a neutral spirit. So much so that the sort of the more expensive vodka seen in the Western market, stuff like a Grey Goose, and to a lesser extent the triple distilled ones such as Smirnoff, these are just sort of mass-produced, basically just pure ethanol and water, no character at all. Whereas your old world vodkas, your Russian vodka, your Polish vodka, they tend to have a little bit more in the way of flavour, which I think is more interesting. I definitely think that's better than having something which is just purified on a commercial scale. You might as well just drink rectified spirit or Everclear. But I don't think I've really had, I don't think I've had an authentic Russian vodka, not really. The closest, well, the leading commercial brand here in the UK is Smirnoff, which I don't even think it's Russian in any sense. I'm trying to think, Russian Standard, I've tried that, but again, it's another commercial vodka. I'm not sure, I'm actually not sure what would constitute a good, authentic Russian vodka. I'd like to get a bottle of something authentic. As far as Polish vodka is concerned, I do have that bottle of Dubova, which is actually not bad. It does have a bit of a kind of a faint elderflower character to it. It's not a bad vodka. I don't know how it ranks on the global scale of things, but it's not bad. And the big commercial Polish vodka, was it Vodka, the bison grass? I think I've tried a little bit of that. I've never owned a bottle, mind you. So as to the question of who makes the better vodka, Poland or Russia, I don't know. At the end of the day, like I say, vodka is a fairly lightly flavoured spirit, so it's kind of hard to make a judgment on it. As long as it gets you drunk, that's the main thing, right? The X-Raider 64 says, did you get messages like camper or hardscoper while recording this? Surprisingly, I don't think I got a single message at all while recording with the PSG. And as far as camping, I would like to point out that I was actually playing quite aggressively with the sniper rifles. Admittedly, yes, I was using the scope to aim, but, well, I generally find aiming with the sniper rifles is pretty beneficial. I don't really subscribe to this whole quickscoping philosophy. I like aggressive sniping, I genuinely do. And you'll see me move about, you know, of course, if the activity dies down in my crosshairs, of course I'm going to pursue the enemy and get a little bit closer to them, but... You see here, look, I'm running forward. Shoot the guy. What am I going to do? Am I going to shoot that guy, run forward a bit more? There. You see, you don't see all the bits in the middle where I'm moving between positions. Of course, here I know there are more guys coming. So, you know, I hang about, I wait. I know they're going to pop their heads up, and then there they are. And to a certain extent, you do have to do that with a sniper rifle. You do have to sort of hang back and wait for the enemy to sort of traipse into your scope. But, you know, I wasn't really... I wasn't in the same spot for an entire match. I was moving about. I was being as aggressive as possible in Black Ops. So, no messages like that. And as for the term hardscoper, let's not even touch on that. Elite Voltboy 96 says, Stu, can you do a Borderlands 2 playthrough on your Ahoy Xbox channel? Short answer, no. I'd rather enjoy the game and just play it. I may do some stuff in the gap between Black Ops and Black Ops 2. I don't know precisely what I might reboot behind the scenes and actually talk about some of the stuff I'm working on in preparation for Black Ops 2. In addition to that, I might do some playthroughs and stuff. I'm really digging Faster Than Light. So I might do some playthroughs of that, but we'll see. Whatever takes my inspiration, whatever I've got time for. There is, in fact, a chance I'll be in LA for a brief period during Black Ops and Black Ops 2. All of that's yet to be arranged. Owned by Sim says, hey Stu, what's your favourite American firearm? It depends what era we're talking about. If we're talking Cold War era, I rather like the AR-18, one of Stoner's later designs. I think the gas system for that actually proved the inspiration for the G36. That's a fact for you. It was also the favoured rifle of the Provisional IRA. I believe they had some contacts within the US who managed to sort of ship some out to Ireland, if I remember correctly. As far as modern day rifles and other weapons are concerned, I don't know actually. The Scar H is probably my favourite modern rifle, but that's Belgian. I mean, it does have sort of a definite... it has a definite American influence. But as for a thoroughbred American rifle, I don't know. I suppose, I mean, the AR-15 platform I kind of like. There are so many different variants, so many different chamberings. Maybe something in 300 Blackout would be quite nice. Get a suppressor on there. Something, I don't know. I don't know which armory I'd... But yeah, something along those. Something tactical. I could dig that. Next up, Ponages. X-Ahoy, what would be the worst weapon you have ever used in Call of Duty ever? Overall, I'd probably have to say the Stinger. It was, well, let's just say it was a challenge getting kills with that thing. Otherwise, I don't know. It's possible to get kills with pretty much any weapon, really. Some attachments are always a pain, like silent sniper rifles. They're just, I mean, they're useless. The silenced L96A1, that was pretty bad. Any high recoil weapon with a thermal scope in Black Ops, I remember having The RPK with the infrared scope was just not pleasant to use. And just today I was using the CZ75 with the full auto attachment, which is hilariously bad. It's a 4-shot kill with the slowest rate of fire in the game. It's as slow as the M60. It's almost impossible to kill stuff with that attachment. Or the Riot Shield in M.3, that's a pretty poor weapon if I'm honest. Patty Wiper says, "Hey Stu, what's your take on quickscoping? Do you think it should return in Black Ops 2? Yes, the perennial trick shot in question. Of course, I should have expected something along these lines on a sniper video. Now, as far as quickscoping is concerned, I don't really have an issue with the mechanic. I know some people cry foul over it, you know, they think it's unfair, sniper rifle shouldn't be able to compete, blah 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 blah. But I think the concessions that you need to make to nerf quickscoping, I think they certainly went too far in Black Ops. What they did is they altered the consistent handling of a weapon that I don't know, I think weapons need to handle in a consistent way. If a weapon doesn't do that, it becomes frustrating to use. So the random spread when you zoom in, I just don't think. I think if your crosshairs are on somebody and you pull the trigger, it should give you a consistent hit. You know, especially with a weapon that demands pretty much that you get a one-shot kill to be effective. So I'm definitely in favour of the Infinity Ward style of sniping. However, just because I support the quickscoping mechanic doesn't mean I'm a big fan of quickscopers. There is, of course, there's an entire sniping culture, isn't there? And I don't know, the whole sniping culture can be a little bit juvenile at times, especially, you know, when it comes to sort of stinging insults like hard scoper. Like, really? And then there's the whole sort of the hubris behind quickscoping, the 1v1s, oh my word. Yeah, my issue is not that the playstyle is obnoxious, and it can be, because one-shot kill rifles are, of course, annoying to use. It's that the people who wield them can be even more obnoxious. So anyway, as far as Black Ops 2 is concerned, it looks like the sniper rifles handle in a more consistent way. It's really difficult to get an accurate impression of precisely how sniping will play out, because everything we've seen so far has been in LAN conditions, which are optimum, shall we say. Goodness knows what sort of netcode lies in wait. I don't know, I have a feeling it will probably behave like a slightly more polished Black Ops in terms of overall netcode. Hopefully, if they've tuned it so that the sniper rifles perform in a more consistent way, that should be rewarding for the sniper. What it seems that they've done, however, is that they might have reduced the one-hit kill area. I'm not sure precisely what they've done as far as hit zones are concerned, but it seems like most, even the powerful rifles, you need to hit chest up. I don't know, I could be wrong on that. There must be a rifle that has kills in the stomach, but I imagine it has a bit of a downside to it, whether it has a stupidly slow aim time. Maybe it aims in at 600 milliseconds instead of 400, I don't know. We'll see, but without the hard stats and without sort of real-world experience, it's difficult to make a judgment on how sniping will play on Black Ops, but it does seem like they are not being as aggressive in controlling a certain playstyle. And that's good, because I always dreaded doing the sniper rifles in Black Ops, because they are incredibly frustrating to use. I mean, I can perform okay with them. I can get higher streaks, I can get decent KDRs and all that. But I don't know, they do feel like a gamble every time you pull the trigger, which I don't think a weapon should do. I think more enjoyable weapons behave in a more consistent and controllable way. That's why people gravitate towards the weapons that have lower recoil, that kill more effectively. Because people like weapons that actually work. Alright, Cobsvet 7000. Hey ahoy, if you were trapped on a deserted island and could only have one food for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Now you see, that rather depends on the definition of food. Are we talking about one particular thing? Or are we talking about, a particular dish? Like, would I be allowed to have, say, sausages, or would I be allowed to have sausages and mash? I think that's an important question. If it was only one thing, then it would probably have to be pizza, because then at least you can have a bit of variety in the toppings. Even if it was just the one topping, at least you could get a little bit close to a nutritionally balanced diet by sprinkling some veg on there, However, if we're talking a little more broad, if we're talking one dish, I don't know. Oh, actually, maybe a KFC bucket. Give me one of those a day and I'll be happy on a deserted island. Give me, a couple of different sides, for your, I don't know, like beans and corn. Get some vitamins in there. Beans have niacin and stuff in. You get your vitamin B from there, then you'd have, obviously, chicken. I don't think I'd ever get sick of fried chicken. There's a reason people on death row always choose it as their last meal. It's because, well, there's not much better than fried chicken. And, you get a 2-litre bottle of pop as well with a bucket, don't you? So, yeah, give me a bucket of KFC and I'd be happy on a deserted island. Be quite content. I mean, to be honest, any food after like 365 days or whatever without rescue, you might be a little bit sick of it, but I don't know. It's hypothetical, it doesn't matter. Hans John Eriksson says, "Hey Stuart, what is your favourite map in Call of Duty history?" Ooh, I don't know. There's quite a few that I like. I tend to prefer the smaller, faster-paced maps, because they're a lot of fun, and they support my normally sort of fast-paced style of play. Black Ops, I absolutely detest Nuketown for some reason. I think it's because there is no strategy in it. It's just two facing worlds and death lying in the middle. So no, don't like Nuketown. However, I do like Firing Range, even though Firing Range, every time it's up for vote, always gets selected. I don't know, I think it's a pretty good map. If we're talking, let's think, COD 4, I like Vacant. I like Wet Work, surprisingly. It's a little bit like Nuketown, isn't it? It kind of plays like that, but I always liked it. Principally because you could turn on your night vision. I miss night vision. If we're talking M.2, Vacant again, I like the return of Vacant. Trailer Park, actually. I've got some fond memories of Trailer Park. Just unusual, because I don't normally like the DLC maps. Well, actually, I hated quite a few of the DLC maps, so it's a mixed bag, isn't it? What else from M.2? I like Terminal, but I don't think I like it that much. Not enough to sort of elect it as my favourite map ever. So, I don't know. Overall, I'm going to say Vacant. I've enjoyed it in 2 Call of Duty games now. It's a nice little map. It's not the most visually interesting, but it plays really nicely. There's a good mix of corridors and there's a bit of outdoor area. So that's my answer, I'm sticking to it. Craney32 says, "Will your CZ75 guide be slightly biased? As it's your favourite secondary, won't you praise it more than say about its downsides?" Oh, you poor fool. All of my guides are biased. Of course they are. I can't turn off my internal bias. Nor would I want to, Level 80 Mudkip says, "Xbox Ahoy, what's your opinion on Taco Bell?" Well, I've only tried it once. They actually opened one in Manchester, in the city centre, a couple of years ago now. And at some point over the last year or so, I finally got a chance to actually try it. It's in the food court of the Arndale Centre. And we were in town shopping and we, at a loose end for the food day. I thought, let's try Taco Bell. Let's see if the legends are true. And well, it was underwhelming, to say the least. I think I got some sort of burrito, and it was okay. It was okay. A little small, if I'm honest. I could have eaten like 5 of them. I only had 1, and there were some fries with it as well. I don't think the American Taco Bell has fries, which is unusual. But I guess, well, we like chips in the UK, you see, so everything has to come with chips. So yeah, I had a burrito and chips. And it was fine. The chips were horrible. The burrito itself was fine. But to be honest, there's a better Mexican place in Manchester that's been there for years, a place called Bar Burrito. And it's not quite as good as the authentic stuff I had in California, but it's not half bad. And they do much bigger burritos as well, which is nice. So overall, not particularly impressed, if I'm honest. Wolf of Lena says, "Stu, how do you view other commentators who do weapon reviews, such as Driftor?" Oh, not much time left, and this is a meaty question. Now, I normally don't like talking about other commentators because there's always the risk that I'll offend somebody. I mean, if I give an honest appraisal of someone's channel, a sort of criticism, they might take it to heart, I might say some negative stuff, because obviously there's positives and negatives to everyone's channel, and I don't necessarily want to do that without invitation, because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So I'm going to be a little bit diplomatic in what I say. I'm not going to offer an honest appraisal of anybody's videos, but I like the fact that there are alternate viewpoints on YouTube. I like the fact that other people are doing things which are in my arena. I've got to say, as far as people on YouTube, as far as commentators are concerned, Drifter is probably one of a handful of other guys on YouTube who actually understand Call of Duty. A lot of people can reel off stats, but a few people actually understand what they're saying. Drifter also probably had the most complete MW3 series with his in-depth stuff. He did, I think, something like 90 episodes, covered pretty much every aspect of the game, covered patches, attachments, everything. He did a good job in covering everything like that. He has quite an informal style, but it's, I don't know, I quite like the sort of the commentary style delivery. I think it works pretty well. So yeah, he definitely has his own style, and that's definitely a good thing. Other weapon reviewers, who else are there? Raging Amish. I get comments all the time that say, Stu, have you ever heard of Raging Amish? Yes, I have. You've just mentioned him. Of course I've heard of him. But yes, I'm familiar with his work as well. And again, he's got his own unique style. It's kind of a comedy style. What I don't like are people who too closely emulate existing styles. I see quite a few people who try to be Xbox Ahoy. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes, like, I don't mind if people who are doing new stuff, people who are doing different games. Like, Hatton Games, for instance, he does CSGO weapon guides. And it's fair to say that they are inspired by stuff that I have done, but I haven't touched CSGO, so as far as I'm concerned, it's fair game. It's flattering, almost. But all too often, I'll see people who emulate my style, and it comes off as awkward. It comes off as sort of kind of stuffy and boring, and maybe that's because I am kind of stuffy and boring, maybe, or maybe it's because they're trying to be something that they're not. I don't know. For me, my style comes naturally because it's my style, isn't it? But yeah, no, I don't like to see people copying it wholesale. I like to see people have their own spin on it, and people like Raging Amish and Drifter absolutely do have their own style, and of course, they have their own voice to contribute. So yes, no, I welcome their contributions. Anyway, I ran out of footage about 2 minutes ago, so I should probably stop talking. I shall join you on Friday for another Beverage Guide Express, and then on Sunday for the CZ75 weapon guide, and then that will leave us with 2 more weapons left. That would be the Kypris and the G11. So anyway, until then, farewell.